and they cooked up a frozen pizza for me for, I'm going to call it brunch. And I ate the whole thing.
Hi, Daddy.
Okay, I've left the Slaughter Creek tent site. It's a little before 7 a.m. and I'm on my way up Blood Mountain. I think I've got a few hundred more feet to go before I reach the summit. And then it's a big descent down into Neal Gap, where Mountain Crossings is a outfitter. And I'm hoping I can find some replacement shoes down there, but it doesn't open until 9. I still got, a couple hours before that opens, so I think I'll probably end up getting there right around when it opens. I'm not sure what to expect there. Maybe some food. But and then it's probably going to be a 14-mile day, because I'm not sure how much time I'll spend at Mountain Crossings. But I'm not sure. Also, I might be able to catch a sunrise up here at the summit of Blood Mountain, which would be kind of cool. But anyway, this whole sunrise later in Georgia than I'm used to in Maine, it's kind of throwing me off. I still wake up at the same time, which is between 4:30 and 5, actually earlier sometimes, and it's still dark until like right now, which is, it's about 6:45. So I anticipate some early morning dark hiking with my headlamp. So now I've got to remember to recharge my headlamp. It's one of those rechargeable ones, doesn't take batteries. So I've got to plug it in at night, get a full charge. So, there's not much to do at night, so I'll probably figure that out, no problem. But we're going to get moving on, and I'll see you at the peak. Onward. Okay, I am minutes away from entering Neal's Gap and mountain crossings. I'm a bit early, so I'll have a little wait. And this sign behind me says it's Neal's Gap, Neels, no apostrophe. I was under the impression it was Neal Gap. I'm assuming, you probably can't see it, but I'm assuming the S is silent, or the guy that made the sign should have been fired. So hopefully I'll solve this mystery down there. Someone can answer the question, is it Neal Gap or is it Neal's Gap? And if it's Neal's without an apostrophe, apparently there was more than one Neal, because that would indicate it's plural. Or, like I said, the S is silent and therefore very confusing. So, Neal Gap or Neal's Gap? Let's find out. I'm taking a break in the area of Baggs Creek Gap, and that's north of Mountain Crossings. I left Mountain Crossings about maybe 2 hours ago. So I'm close to about 8 miles into my hike for the day. It's a little bit before noon, and actually there's some pretty good tent pads here right off the trail. Not sure how much longer I'm going to go today. Could be anywhere from 14 to 20 miles. We'll see. It depends on where the water is and good tent sites. But at Mountain Crossings, probably what I think so far in my hike is one of the better gear outfitters and food resupplies outfitters combined. I did a little food resupply. Also, they had frozen pizzas there. And in 15 minutes, they cooked one for me. And I had it for, we'll call it a pizza brunch, because I already had like a little breakfast before I left my tent this morning. But it was hard to opened up the freezer, and there was like 20 frozen pizzas in there, different variety. And so it's hard to resist. And he cooked it for me. I took it outside on one of the picnic tables. And there was another hiker walked by as I set the pizza down. He said, You must be hungry. You're going to eat all that. I said, yeah, I'm going to eat all that. And I ate all that. I ate the whole pizza. No problems. And I would guess by the end of the day, all those calories will be burned off. So it didn't bother me. And I'd have to admit, I would have probably done the same thing at home. Even if I wasn't hiking, I would have eaten the whole pizza. So, but that's my secret. I'm a pig, a stuttering pig. So Mountain Crossings, cool place, great store. In fact, another hiker walked in, had a huge pack on, and the guy that was working there immediately said, "Hey, you want me to do a pack shakedown for you? You know, that's where he'll go through all the contents of your pack and make suggestions to where you can maybe lighten the load a little bit or improve your gear." So he got right on that. I think they're all pretty experienced thru hikers there that work there. So I had a great experience. I spent like 45 minutes just walking around shopping. Like I said, doing a food resupply and eating a pizza. No gear. I got a refrigerator magnet as a souvenir, but that's about it. Had a cup of coffee. So, and I think I had to wait I got there about 8:15, so I had to wait about 45 minutes before they actually opened. So, but the hike so far today, up and over Blood Mountain, so right at the descent of Blood Mountain is Neil's Gap, and the Mountain Crossings Outfitter. Cool place. I think they say it's the only place on trail where the trail actually goes through a building, which it did. So the trail, kind of some ups and downs since then. Hasn't been technically difficult. Got some bugs in this area. Not technically difficult, just ups and downs. Super huge contrast from, the New England states for sure. So I think I can, manage to, without a whole lot of effort, have my hiking pace increase because I don't have to stop to, climb boulders or whatever yet. This is only my third day on the southern leg portion in Georgia. Humidity is present. It's not bothering me. So it's humid, and I think it's high 70s and going to be low 80s today. And every day, always a threat of usually late afternoon thunder showers. Didn't get any yesterday, which was cool. None overnight last night. But I think there's a chance for a late one tonight. But so I could get in some miles today if I wanted. Now I was thinking on my hike this morning, there's probably, I am not going to run into any thru hikers here on the path that I've chosen to take. So I've flipped down to Georgia to go northbound, and there's no northbounders, pure northbounders that are starting now. So the only thru hikers I'm going to encounter are the southbounders coming down, and they couldn't really start until Katahdin opened. So I don't anticipate running into any southbounders until I get, I'm thinking, midway into Virginia. So, of course, I'll run into section hikers and day hikers, but I think it's going to be a pretty isolated hike going northbound from here. But that's okay. I want to check out a lot of the hostels down here in the towns, and see what they have to offer. So I'm going to get on the hiking and see where I end up today. So, onward. my hiking day today after about 17 miles or so. And back here, I'm not set up yet, but somewhere in here, I will be setting up my tent. I am standing on the trail, so it's might be referred to as a stealth site because it's not mapped out, but it's no secret. It's like right next to the trail. So some flat spots, a couple of them that I can pick from, but that's home for the night. And today, the highlights, you might think getting over Blood Mountain would count as the biggest highlight of the day. And it was a highlight, no doubt. Going into mountain crossings, the outfitters at Neil Gap, I'm going to say Neil Gap, but I'm spelling it with a Kneel because they don't know what they're doing there. It's Neil Gap. So anyway, regardless, going into Neil Gap, into mountain crossings, the outfitter, like I said before, a cool place. And they cooked up a frozen pizza for me for, I'm going to call it brunch. And I ate the whole thing. That was a highlight, but it wasn't the biggest highlight of the day. My biggest highlight happened just down the trail about an hour ago. It was a chance encounter with two southbounders at a water source. And I walked up to the water source and they were standing there. It was a young couple in their 20s. And I walked up and there's so many noises in the forest. You don't know if it's, like an acorn falling off a tree from the army or a hiker or an animal, whatever. But there's always noises. And I think there are bats at night here. The last 2 nights, I think all I hear is bats from sundown to sunup. Anyway, chance encounter with two southbounders at a water source. I walk up to the water source. It's like a little waterfall on the side of the trail. And I walk up and they go, one of them goes, "Hey, Hickory." And it's like, and so like, take my sunglasses off because I'm using them to protect my eyes from the bugs. And I look at them like, oh my gosh, it's their names were Onesie and Almost There. And these are two southbounders that I met in Duncannon, Pennsylvania. They had started their thru hike, I think in the Palmerton area of Pennsylvania, and hiked south. And of course, I started my thru hike in Harper's Ferry and hiked north. And we crossed paths in Duncannon at a hostel called Kind of Outdoorsy. And it was really my first real hostel experience, like in a bunk area. And they were the first two real thru hikers that I had met. And both of us were only less than 10 days into our thru hikes. And they're the kind of people you meet and, especially on a thru hike, and you can, I've been out here for 3 months and you can kind of tell, of course, anybody that's been out here 3 months, you can kind of tell that, they have the grit and determination to see this thing through. But, they were the kind of people that you meet and you go, yeah, they're going to do it. You just kind of know, they were prepared. They were relaxed. They just seemed, you just get a feeling for people. And like I said, they were much younger than me. They probably thought they were hanging out with their grandpa or something, but they left a lasting impression on me because they were genuine and they kind of set the tone for the people you meet out here. Because it's kind of a community of hikers, thru hikers, whatever. And like I said, they were genuine. They were the kind of people you would want to, sit down and have a beer with and just, shoot the breeze. Just a good vibe from them. Like I said, their names were Almost There and Onesie. So if you guys are watching, I'm talking about you guys because I didn't forget you. And when I decided to kind of switch up my flip-flop from, reaching Maine and then flipping from West Virginia to Georgia. That was my original plan. When I decided to kind of flip that on its head and reach Katahdin in Maine and then come down to Georgia and continue northbound, I knew there was a chance that I would run into southbounders that were still on the trail that I had previously met. And I might still see some more southbounders as I head north. But those were the first two southbounders. And they were there within days of reaching Springer. And their plan is to go up to Katahdin. So I was within days of missing them. So it was really a chance encounter down here, as was up there in Duncannon. And just really made my day. So before we said goodbye, just a little while ago, almost there, and I didn't catch this right away, but almost there, he said to me, "Go all the way, Hickory." And it was something that I said to him back in Duncannon. And I don't know if he remembered that, and that's why he said it, or if he just said it coincidentally to me. But he kind of returned the favor, which is kind of cool. Because I remember saying to them in that hostel, so you guys go all the way, because I knew they could do it. So, two people I'll never forget. And like I said, they set the tone for the entire social experience I've had so far. It's somewhat limited because, there's not a whole lot of thru hikers out here. And my path is not one that's being traveled as much, because I'm a flip-flopper. Trying to get this sun right. So anyway, I was fortunate to have caught them before they were ready to travel up to Maine. So, and they are also vlogging their thru hike and on Instagram. So I kind of knew through Instagram that they were still on the trail. And there was a chance that I would get to see them again, and it happened today. So, you guys, you beat the pizza brunch, and you beat going over Blood Mountain. So you made my day. So anyway, I'm going to get camp set up here. A little parched today because it's been humid, and the water sources have been pretty limited. So I had to stretch my water supply. I think there was a stretch of 10 miles. There was no water from Neal Gap, where the Outfitters was, to like just a mile or so back. So a little dry, but anyway, great day today. No rain. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I don't even know yet. So you get camp set up right in here and get some food and go to sleep and start all over again tomorrow. So Muffin Button, I love you. Acorn Army, I love you too. And I'll see you next time.